Today I'm going to share with you how I strain and decant the citrus vinegars that we started a few weeks ago. And I'm also going to share with you how I test them to make sure that they're ready. Hi sweet friends, I'm Mary and welcome to Mary's Nest. I'm a former New York City girl, now living the simple life with my sweet husband here in the Texas Hill Country. And this channel is all about cooking from scratch, living naturally, and creating a cozy home with charming thrift store finds. So if you're like me and you want to live the simple life, be sure to subscribe to my channel and then click on the notification bell below. That'll let you know every time I upload a new video. Now for about 30 days or so, I have been stirring these every day. Not this one, we'll talk about this one in a minute, but I've been stirring these two every day. And I think they're ready. They're really smelling like vinegar, and I think that they're going to be ready to decant. As I've shared with you in a previous video, I was often making apple cider vinegar for, many years, and it's very common to do. I think a lot of people do that. But I learned from my friend Heidi over at Rain Country Homestead that you can pretty much make vinegar out of anything. And so what I've done here is, just to recap, I've got the citrus peels, I've got orange peels in here, and then in this one I actually have the whole oranges. I put in a couple of oranges. You can go back, I have the original video and an update video, which I'll link to show you exactly what I did. But this just has the oranges in it. They were some that were not looking too great and all. And rather than just throwing them out or putting them in compost pile, I decided, what the heck, I'll try and make vinegar out of them. So basically I just put peels in here and then some cut up oranges in here. To each I added a quarter cup of sugar, and I found that I didn't really need to add any more sugar after that. I think that the fruit sugar in here was plenty to feed the bacteria, the good bacteria, to get it going. And the one here, the peels, some of them had fruit on it as well, and so I think that it seemed to have enough sugar too. So they bubbled up and they were doing well, and now they've calmed down quite a bit and they have the vinegary smell. So I thought, well, let me go ahead and check them. Now, two things I want to mention. I normally, for 30 days, I was stirring them with my chopstick like I do. And I do put this in the description below. I put a link to where to get the chopsticks, because I know a lot of you asked me about the wooden chopsticks. And if you're not familiar, when I say the description below, underneath this video, it'll say, it's like show, there might be like one sentence or something, and then it says show more. And if you click on where it says show more, that opens up a big, long description where I put a lot of information. And sort of close to the top, I'll put links to the chopsticks. And also what I'm going to show you in a minute, the pH strips to check. So that's what I was just doing for the last 30 days, just giving this a stir like this. This one is even still a little bubbly. So that was that. And then, but I could really, you're going to find that they still have a lovely citrus smell, but there is the predominant vinegar smell. So what I do is, these are the pH strips that I use to check the vinegar to see, what the pH is at. And I think as long as it's like under 4.0, that's kind of considered vinegar. I think I have to go back and check. I think that's what I learned from Heidi. But, and one thing I do want to mention, no matter how acidic you get them, these are not meant for canning, where some recipes will call, if you're water bath canning or pressure canning, may call for some vinegar in the recipe. When you do that, you want to use the vinegar that you buy at the store, because that is exact, and you're going to be doing the right thing. And when it comes to canning, you have to be very exact. But in any event, all you do is you take one of these pH strips, and as I said, I'll put a link to where I get these in the description below. And this particular variety goes from 3.0 to 5.5. Now, I often like to get mine down to 3.0, but 3.5 is fine too. I find almost 3.5 is kind of nice if you're going to use it for salad dressing and whatnot, so it's not too harsh. But for the cleaning ones, I kind of like to have them to be around 3.0. So we're going to test this. And oh, this looks like it's quite ready. This strip is going to be quite yellow. And what I'll show you is, what you do is, after you dip the little pH strip in, you just compare it to the table here. And as you see, that's pretty darn close to 3.0. So that's definitely ready. That has definitely turned into vinegar. Now I just want to show you, because I know some of you have said to me when I've done this in previous videos, Mary, it's just wet. It's yellow and it's wet. It's not a test, but it really is. And so I want to show you that if you take the pH strip and put it in water, see? This is water. It turns green. And so that, if you compare that over here, you see, oh my gosh, that's probably over 5.5. So I just wanted to show you that it actually is a test. And now we'll test this vinegar, which was made with the fruit. Oh, and as you can see, that one looks pretty good too. Now let's see. Yeah, now maybe that one might be about 3.5, which is perfect. That's going to be great. I'm actually going to use this one for salad dressing, and I'm going to use this one for cleaning. So now I'm going to get ready to strain these and decant these, and I'll show you how I do that. But before I do that, I just want to talk to you about this third one. If you've seen the previous videos, you know that from my friend Alicia, who has the the YouTube channel, Moat Cottage, and I'll link to both girls' YouTube channels in the description or in the iCards, wherever I can, wherever I have room, so that you can go visit them. But Alicia at Moat Cottage shared how to make a citrus-scented vinegar. But what she does is she simply starts with white vinegar, real vinegar, it's already vinegar, and then she adds citrus peels to it. So as you see, these were mandarin orange peels, those ones you sometimes see at the grocery store that say cuties or things like that. So they were very orange. So they're quite discolored now. And all I did was soak them in the vinegar, in the white vinegar that I bought at the grocery store for 30 days. And the fragrance it's amazing. Oh my gosh. You know how harsh white vinegar can smell? This smells so citrusy, like the nicest citrus-scented cleaner that you would ever buy. You know, really like one of those high-end fancy citrus-scented cleaners. Oh my gosh. This is so nice. I really like this one. And I'm going to strain this, and I'm going to decant this. And this I'm going to keep this in the kitchen and use this for cleaning the counters and the stove and everything like that, because the fragrance is just heavenly. Now I don't need to do the pH strips on this because we started with vinegar, so we know that's vinegar. We've just added orange peels to it, or in this case mandarin orange peels, to give it that lovely scent. Now what I'm going to do to decant these is I've just got a big measuring cup here. I'm going to put a strainer over it, and then I'm going to line the strainer with some cheesecloth. And the reason, not cheesecloth, this is flour sack towels. You can certainly use cheesecloth. I tend to use flour sack towels because I can reuse them, as I've talked about in various videos where I make bone broth and strain it. I always like these flour sack towels. But you can certainly use cheesecloth. It's just something that doesn't last. You might be able to wash it out a little, but eventually you have to discard it. But these flour sacks are fantastic. And I'll put a link in the description below, because I know a lot of you have asked me where I get them. I usually just buy them at like the big box stores, so definitely look there. And if you can't find them there, they're always online. And so what I'm going to do is, the reason I'm lining this with the flour sack towel is because even if this was just peel, I could probably just pour it completely through the strainer. But when these various oranges were peeled, some of them had some of the orange left, the actual fruit left on it. And so I see little bits of the pulp floating around. So just to get all of that out, I want to use this cheesecloth to strain it. So I'm just going to strain all this out like this. Yeah, and I'm glad that I used the flour sack towel, because I could definitely see that there's pulp in here. And oh, this is terrific. So you'll see I'm straining it all out, and it's catching, the flour sack towel is catching some of the pulp. And I'll just continue to just move this around a little, just to get all of the vinegar out and into the measuring cup. And now we've got our first batch of this lovely citrus scented vinegar to decant into this bottle that I've saved from some previous use. I can never throw out bottles and jars. I always save them, but they come in so handy. Oh, look at this. This is just going to be beautiful. And now one beautiful bottle of citrus-scented vinegar. And let's move on to the next one. And we're just going to do the same thing all over again, but this time with the one that was made with the whole fruit. So this time the flour sack towel is really going to come in handy because I suspect there's quite a bit of pulp here. And our second bottle all ready to decant. And another bottle of citrus-scented vinegar. Now to decant this one, I'm just going to use the strainer because I don't see any pulp in here at all. So I think that this will be fine to decant straight away. And our third one all ready to decant. Oh my gosh, this fragrance. This is really heavenly. If you'd like to learn more about how to make vinegar from fruit scraps, be sure to subscribe to my channel and then click on this video over here where I show you how to make vinegar from strawberry tops. And I'll see you over there in my Texas Hill Country kitchen. Love and God bless.